A nation that celebrates colors like no other, Rajasthan takes the spectrum to extremes. The cities of blue, pink and gold are just the start of the land of kings. Jai Hind, this is PO Cadet Yashasvi Katara of Rajasthan Directorate Udaipur Group, and my presentation is on the leaders of Rajasthan. Whenever I step on the brave earth of Rajasthan, my heart trembles if there is not any tomb of a brave, no any place of a brave woman, rightly quoted by national poet Ramdhari Singh Dinkar. Rajasthan is not only known for its exquisite cultural heritage, but also for the bravery and sacrifices of leaders like Prithviraj Chauhan, Kuram Devi, Maharana Pratap, Rana Sanga, Panna Dhai, Hardi Rani, Maharaja Surajmal and many more. So let's first enlighten our minds with the heroic contributions of Samrat Prithviraj Chauhan. Samrat Prithviraj Chauhan, born in 1166 AD, ascended the throne of Chauhans of Shakambari Ajmer as a minor in 1177 AD. Prithviraj Chauhan commenced on his Digvijay or world conquest. He fought successive battles and extended his empire to present-day Haryana, Delhi, Rajasthan and some parts of Punjab, Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. In 1190 to 1191 AD, Muhammad Ghori captured a fort in Bhatinda with the intentions of invading India. Upon learning about it, Prithviraj III set out with an army. Both the armies met at Tarain. Prithviraj Chauhan fought fiercely, routing the Persian army and badly injuring Ghori. This became the first battle of Tarain, the one which saw one of the first Muslim invasion. In 1192, Muhammad Ghori advanced once again, attacking the Rajput camp at night time. This account of Prithviraj's death, as presented in the epic Prithviraj Raso, states that he was captured, blinded and taken to Ghazni. There, his friend Chandrabardai encouraged him to take revenge against Ghori by arranging an archery display in which the blinded Rajput king would shot at the target by sheer sound alone. Prithviraj drew his bowstring as Chandrabardai recited the couplet, Char baas, 24 gaj, Angul asht praman, ta upar sultan hai mat chuke Chauhan, and that gave him details about the distance, direction and height where Ghori was seated. Prithviraj shot his arrow which went there piercing Ghori's neck. Meanwhile, Chandrabardai stabbed his master and then stabbed himself, enabling him to die in a manner befitting a king. Thus, Prithviraj Chauhan is remembered in history as the last Hindu king, a great warrior and able statesman. Now let us dive into the bravery of unsung woman warrior of Rajasthan, Kuram Devi. After the death of her husband Vikram Singh Raj by the hands of Qutbuddin Aibak, Rani created her army consisting of women warriors and challenged Aibak for a duel. During the course of the duel, she drove the sword deep into his flesh and severely wounded Aibak. Seeing their general in such a state, his army made a hasty retreat. Maharana Pratap Singh Sisodia, born on 9th May 1540 to Uday Singh II at Kumbhalgarh fort in Mewar. By the time of Pratap's accession, many kingdoms of Rajasthan had accepted Akbar's authority. On 18th June 1576, the Battle of Haldi Ghati was fought between Maharana Pratap and the Mughal Emperor Akbar's forces led by Man Singh I of Amer. As a result of this battle, most of Mewar except few hills fell in Mughal hands, but Pratap did not give up fighting. Between 1585 up to his death, he succeeded in recovering substantive parts of Mewar. Maharana Pratap alone resisted the most powerful empire of its time. He wonderfully represents the will to fight and survive, to maintain our freedom, independence, culture, and way of life. Rana Sanga. Maharana Sangram Singh Sisodia, popularly known as Rana Sanga, was born on 12th April 1482 to Rana Raimal. The enthronement of Rana Sanga marked the commencement of a vigorous phase of expansion of Mewar. In the Battle of Khatoli, the Sultan of India, Ibrahim Lodi, himself got defeated by the Rana. Rana Sanga alone emerged as a great threat towards Babur's consolidation in India after the First Battle of Panipat. The March 1527 Battle of Khandwa was fiercely fought. Mughal artillery caused a dreadful havoc. As a result of severely wounded conditions, the great Rana of Mewar finally died on 30th January 1528. While the soil of Rajasthan is loaded with the tales of bravery, the contributions of women warrior like Panna Dhai, who sacrificed her own son's life to save son of Mewar, Rana Uday Singh II, and Hadi Rani, who sacrificed herself to motivate her husband Rao Ratan Singh to go to war, are no less. Talking about Maharaja Surajmal, the Hindu Jat ruler of Bharatpur, Rajasthan. Under him, the Jat rule covered districts of northeastern Rajasthan and western UP. Now, I will bring before you the veterans of Rajasthan. Admiral Madhavendra Singh. Admiral Madhavendra Singh of Jaipur, Rajasthan, was awarded with both Param Vishishta Seva Medal and Ati Vishishta Seva Medal. He was the Chief of Naval Staff between 29th December 2001 and his retirement from the service on 31st July 2004. He was also the Chairman of Chiefs of Staff Committee. He commanded INS Virat, INS Ranveer and INS Talwar. Major Shaitan Singh. Major Shaitan Singh Bhati, the Indian Army officer and recipient of Paramveer Chakra, was born in Jodhpur, Rajasthan. During the 1962 Sino-Indian War, Singh continuously moved from post to post, reorganizing the defences and boosting the morale of his men. As he moved between the posts without any cover, he was seriously wounded and later succumbed to his injuries. For his actions on 18th November 1962, Singh was awarded the Param Veer Chakra. Flight Lieutenant Mohana Singh. Flight Lieutenant Mohana Singh Jitarwal from Jhunjhunu, Rajasthan, is one of the first female fighter pilots of India. She was declared as the first combat pilot along with the two of her cohort, Bhavna Kant and Avani Chaturvedi. All three women pilots were inducted into the Indian Air Force Fighter Squadron in June 2016. On March 2020, she was awarded with Nari Shakti Puraskar by President Ram Nath Kovind. From the captain of the Indian women's cricket team, Mithali Raj, to the Param Shri awarded Kalbelia dancer Gulabo. From Mittals and Birlas to Mr. Vishwamohan Bhatt of Hindustani classical music, Rajasthan has always and will always remain the sword and armor of our mother India. Khama Ghani.